Let's do exactly the same as the previous video, where we're going through the random exercises for the mortgage topic. We've just hit reload to get a different set of numbers on the web page, and we're going to do exactly the same thing as before. So in part A, Archibald can afford monthly mortgage payments of $761. He wants a 25-year loan, and the interest rate is 7%. So $7.07 is the number from the table. We're wondering how many times can he pay that if he had a bag full of money that was $761. So it's about 107 times. And as we mentioned last time, I'm rounding down, even though the calculator has a 0.6 after this, because I don't want him to over budget. If you rounded to 108, that would be perfectly fine. Anyway, each of those 107 times that he could fork out $7.07 gives him $1,000 of loan. And as we mentioned in the earlier problem, this is actually the home size, because the loan will be smaller after we take away the down payment. For part B, there's a 24% down payment. So we want to find 24% of the home size, and that's what he has to pay right up front. We're going from percent to decimal. So left out of percent. Of means times. So we're getting 25,680 as his down payment. So I'm going to say right here, in contrast to the previous video, the actual loan is the difference between these. Maybe if I put it in red at the bottom rather than buried in the middle of part C, that will be more understandable. That's not a multiply. So 81,320. Chat question, why are we adding the blue 3 zeros? Because every time he pays this amount, he gets $1,000 of loan. So if you like picturing the movie in your head, he shows up at the bank teller with a bag full of money. He gives $7.07 to the bank teller, and the bank teller says, great, you have $1,000 of loan. Then he gives another $7.07, and the bank teller says, great, you have $2,000 of loan. And he keeps doing this until he runs out of money. So how many times does this fit into the big number? We do division. He gets 107 thousands before he runs out. Okay, moving on to C. The loan has a 3% fee. What's the loan amount? It's 3% of the loan amount. So we're going to ask in part C, 3% of 81,320. So $2,439.60. For part D, how much in monthly payments will he pay? So we're going back to this table. He is at 7% and 25 years, so $7.07. His actual loan size was the 81,320. So how many thousands is that? It's 81.32. And as we mentioned before, you can think about this as divided by 1,000, because we're saying how many thousands do we have? You can think about it as scooting the decimal 3 times to the left, because that's another way to do divided by 1,000. You could think about just turning the comma into a decimal point. However it works in your brain, we need to turn the loan size into how many of thousands, because we can't use this table unless we're dealing with thousands of loans. So for each of those thousands, he has to pay $7.07. That's what the table says. So his monthly payment is going to be $574.93. That's not what the problem asks, though. It asks, how much will he pay over all 25 years? So we need to take the 574.93. That's each check he writes. We're going to multiply it by 12 months, because each year he's going to write 12 checks. And we're going to multiply it by 25 years, because that was his loan size. And let's see what that is. So 172,479. So that's how much comes out of his bank over all 25 years. Finally, the interest. So what comes out of his bank? Take away paying off the loan. Everything else has to be the interest. So now we need to go back in the slides and look up those numbers. What came out of his bank account was 172,479. His actual loan size was the 81,320. So we get 91,159. This is much closer than the previous problem. This time his interest is barely more than the loan size. And that's again because his time frame is shorter. Questions about this one?